Once upon a time, this brand was everywhere. From the bustling streets of New York to the remote villages of Africa, one ringtone ruled them all. It was the phone you could drop from the roof and still make a call with. This was Nokia. But today, the company that once sold over 1 billion phones is barely a whisper in the smartphone world. So, what happened? How did the king of mobile phones lose its crown? This is the story of the fall of a tech titan. The story of Nokia begins in 1865. Yes, you heard that right. Not as a phone company, but as a paper mill in Finland. Over the decades, Nokia evolved into an industrial giant, producing rubber boots, cables, and electronics. But it was in the early 1990s that Nokia found its true calling: mobile phones. In 1994, the Nokia 2010 hit the market, complete with the now iconic Nokia Tune. By the late 90s and early 2000s, Nokia was unstoppable. Their phones were affordable, durable, and had insanely long battery life. A week without charging wasn't unusual. In 2003, the Nokia 1100 became the best-selling mobile phone in history, with over 250 million units sold. At its peak, Nokia controlled over 40% of the global mobile phone market, more than Apple and Samsung combined today. Nokia wasn't just selling phones, they were shaping culture. Text messaging exploded thanks to Nokia's easy-to-use interface. And let's not forget Snake, the game that defined mobile entertainment for a generation. Nokia's brand stood for reliability. If you owned a Nokia, you knew it would survive rain, dust, or even a trip through the washing machine. They had fans. They had trust. And more importantly, they had a head start in mobile technology that competitors could only dream of. But in 2007, a storm was brewing. Apple launched the iPhone, a device with a touch screen, an app store, and internet browsing that actually worked. Around the same time, Google introduced Android, giving phone makers free access to a modern smartphone operating system. Nokia? They were still betting on Symbian, an outdated software platform that felt clunky compared to iOS and Android. Inside Nokia, leaders underestimated just how quickly the world was shifting toward smartphones. They thought people wanted better hardware, not a completely new software experience. By the time they realized their mistake, the gap was already massive. In 2011, Nokia made a bold and desperate move. They partnered with Microsoft to launch Windows Phone. The idea was to create a unique alternative to Android and iOS. But there was a problem. Windows Phone had almost no apps, and developers weren't interested in building for a small audience. Consumers loved their Android and iPhones, and Nokia's new Lumia devices just couldn't compete. In 2013, Nokia's phone division was sold to Microsoft for $7.2 billion. By 2016, even Microsoft gave up, writing off the acquisition entirely. The Nokia phone brand was effectively gone. So why did the tech titan fall? Here are the key reasons. Underestimating software. Nokia focused too much on hardware, ignoring that the future was in ecosystems and apps. Slow decision-making, internal bureaucracy, delayed innovation. Wrong partnerships. Choosing Windows Phone over Android limited their market reach. Failure to adapt. They relied on past success, believing their dominance was permanent. In business, arrogance and hesitation are a deadly combination. Nokia's story is more than just a business case. It's a warning. Technology moves fast. What made you successful yesterday might be irrelevant tomorrow. Adaptability, humility, and customer focus are the lifelines of survival. Because, as Nokia learned, no empire lasts forever. Today, Nokia still exists, but as a network equipment company. They occasionally release phones under license, but the glory days are long gone. From being the king of phones to a shadow of its former self, Nokia's journey is a lesson for us all. So, which company do you think could be the next Nokia? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more tech history.